Good morning. It's turned out nice again. How's it going, guys? You all right? Just look up on YouTube, Carling Black Label German sunbed ad or something like that. All right. Good morning. It's turned out nice again. Reminds me of my late friend Kenny. He was my best friend. We grew up together at school and, terrorized neighborhoods, I guess, when we were like 13, 14, 15. And women as well. And he died when he was 37. Did Kenny? And so he always used to do that. Good morning. It's turned out nice again. And you need to watch the advert. It's the Carling German sunbed advert. It is on YouTube. All right. And then it gives you a bit of context, really. So how are you doing? You all right? Yeah. So morning briefing is a briefing in the morning. Some of my briefings the last few weeks have been in the afternoons. But I think that shows I'm a little bit more organised at the moment. I've been exceptionally busy. I'm busy all the time, to be honest. But now I'm not just busy with Cop Talk stuff. I'm busy with club stuff. I'm involved with a local football team here, a very professional team, fighting promotion, etc., etc. So a lot of my week now is taken up with meetings and meeting new people. I'm responsible for growth. As you can see, I've grown pretty well over the years. I just got a lot of things to do these days, and my life's changed quite a bit. The morning briefings are not necessarily about Liverpool. They're more about telling the community what the plan is for the day, and also, doing my acknowledgements, thanking people that might have bought me a beer and that. You know what I'm saying? Acknowledging the grift. And just tell people what's going on, really. There was, let me think. I did receive a couple of emails yesterday, but they don't qualify for mail stand content. One, because I can't read it out, and the other one I can read out, so I'll go over them with you. Do you remember I received an email on the 22nd of March titled "Not for Public Consumption"? Do you remember that? I don't want it in the public domain as a mail stand. All right, do you remember? So basically, I was given some information, and 5 screenshots as well to kind of back up. Not really back up. Actually, this person doesn't need to justify themselves to me at all. This is someone that would be considered a friend of the community, Cop Talk, someone that's been around Cop Talk for a long time. So they weren't sending me things to go, hey, don't look, because anyone can mock screenshots up or conversations, right? It was more of I just want to show you what was being discussed kind of thing. And I couldn't discuss it with you, unfortunately. However, as I always point out, come along to a live stream and you can fish, can't you? Because you can ask about topics. It's obviously if someone is, sorry, I'm getting messages. If somebody is providing information, as a rule, I would say it's about things that are already up for discussion. Sometimes new things will come up, like, oh, did you know this? But if at the moment, there's a lot of things about Slot, Alonso, Gerrard, the future of Edwards, Hughes, etc. Things like that. So I obviously get a lot of stuff coming about those things. So anyway, I couldn't go over that email at that time, but since then I did convey through live streams and on the members' website, for example, my feelings and and stuff. Well, the author of that email followed up yesterday. Unfortunately, I can't really go into that again. But basically, they were they were pointing me in the direction of the Steven Gerrard interview on the overlap, if you like, or his participation on the overlap, which I'm sure many of you have seen. And they were, I don't know, I can't go over it. And I know it's not really helpful, but I do think it's helpful in some ways because I think it shows that there are responsible people in the background that you know, the internet today is very much these people that want to claim they're in the know, you know, ITKs, Twitter twats, and they know everything that's going on at the club, and they're happy to tell you everything. Well, you know what, in the real world, right, there's people out there that are like, I don't want this out there, you know, so they've got no reason to mislead or anything. They're showing respect to people, they're showing courtesy, you know, and sometimes you do get that, which is why I know the majority of these chances out there are full of shit, because they seem to know everything that's going on at the club or multiple clubs, they have no problem in making these claims public. So, you know, I have a lot of opinions about things at Liverpool at the moment. I posted about this, you know, in the last few days, and I've maintained this stance for a long time anyway. I don't think Arne Slot's job's safe. I am going against the likes of Ornstein Joyce, Bad News Pierce, that say, you know, that the owners are steadfast behind the manager. Well, I am going against it, and I'm not. I'm going to explain this to you. So everyone thinks they're saying that Slot is, you know, he's been backed and he's going to be at the club and all that, right? But it's not. If you really look at it, it says steadfast support, but the steadfast support is only based on the current period. So if there was real, genuine, steadfast support for Arne Slot, they would have had a new extension contract by now, right? And it's not there. So the owners are clearly just like, whoa, let's just fucking see, right? So really what they're doing, what these journalists are saying, oh, there's someone at my door, wait there. You didn't even notice I was gone then, did you? No, it's a pass. I'm going to go over this with you in a minute. I'm going to show you something in a minute, right? Let's get back to where we were, which to you was just a second ago anyway. So yeah, the journalists, if you think about it, they're saying, you know, the steadfast support, but that support it basically means they're supporting him now, clearly, because they haven't sacked him, right? So clearly they are supporting him right now. But it doesn't say, or they don't say, that support is unconditional or indefinite or anything. If you look at the articles, they all contain, but, you know, that could change, that steadfast support, you know, based on results between now and the end of the season. So I did a video a few days ago called, it'll have Paul Joyce in the title, right? Go and watch that, and it'll give you the absolute example of it, right? The analysis of that article, if you like. It's a very by Paul Joyce. It's a very, very good video, that I will tell you that, right? It's not very often I big myself up too much, but it is. I thought it was a very good video, and it'll explain quite a bit to you. So, you know, my opinions are that the journalists are not saying, like, 'cause I know people will want to pull them up in a few months and say, you said this. No, what they're saying is, he's got steadfast support, which is bullshit anyway, so I would pull them up for that, because steadfast support, well, where's his contract? But if you want to just say, like, they're supporting him, you know, he's got the full support of the board, well, he has right now, but there is them get-outs, right? So don't pay too much attention to him, in my opinion, because I firmly believe that Arne Slot will be booted in the summer. I do, unless a miracle happens. Right, like unless you win the Champions League or something, and even then, I know people that go, I still don't want him, because they're just not interested with the football. And by by retaining him, I think we would go into next season and just fall into the same shit again. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not an ITK, right? So, but my message to you would be, don't be too concerned by what the journalists are saying, because they're actually, I think, accurate in the sense, not the steadfast bit. But they're accurate. That's clearly a briefing from within, because the same journalists are the journalists are using the same word, right? Steadfast or steadfastly. But no, I wouldn't be too bothered about that, guys. I think he'll be gone. And this is my opinion, right? And it's only an opinion, and I reserve the right to change it. My opinion is that they have absolutely spoken with Alonso and absolutely spoken with Steven Gerrard as well, all right, about being his assistant. This is nothing to do with the comments on the overlap the other day, right? Because my peoples here know that I've been saying this for some time prior to them. But my opinion is that 1,000,000,000% I believe that, guys. Now, that doesn't mean that, you know, holding conversations or exploring possibilities means that they will happen. And this is something as well that, you know, people are quick to run their mouths at journalists when they say things, but you've got to be really You got to really, got to understand things. They've spoken to Steven Gerrard about becoming the assistant manager, for example, if Alonso was appointed. Right? Basically sounded him out. People hear that and then they'll come back and they'll go, you said, and it's not, speaking to him does not mean we're going to give him. It means in any responsible job, you're going to say, would you be interested in that? Do you think you could make that work? Would that be something? If they spoke to Alonso, do you think you could work with Stephen? Or do you want it's just talks, and it's also very easy to conjure up talks and make those claims, right? Yeah? But my people's, I've been here for almost 30 years, guys. There's not any of these journalists that you see today, Twitter twats or anything. Twitter didn't exist when I started Cop Talk, right? So neither did Google, Facebook, YouTube, none of it, right? So I've been here a very long time, and most of my peoples know that, I'm just here because this is what I love, right? So what I'm trying to say here is it would be very easy for me or an individual to say, oh, there's talks between this and that, because you can't prove whether they happened or not. And it's very easy to add but it might not happen on the end of it, right? But you have to decide, whether you trust what I say or don't. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks, because I'm telling you what my opinion is, right? And I make it quite clear, I have absolutely no fucking idea what they will do, all right? That's it. So, and I speak to people and know people in exceptionally high places, if you want to call them that, or well-connected places, and they all share the same opinion as me, in that Alonso has been spoken to, and so has Steven Gerrard, right? But they also share the same thing with me at the end of it, where they would say, but fuck knows, don't no idea what they'll do. And the most recent conversation I've had with someone was a couple of days ago, and it was very much like the owners, they do monitor. We all know this anyway. I'm sure you know this. The fan feeling and stuff. So if the fans protest, it's not just because some lad on X or Twitter, put out a comment that he will never watch a game again. They don't go, oh, we better stop. We better get rid of him because Dave in Bradford. Do you know what I mean? It's not that. But they look at the majority feeling and stuff. And it's not just protesting verbally or, caps locking people to death on Twitter or YouTube. It's also when people can vote or express disgust or discomfort or unhappiness through not purchasing, what's it called? Hospitality packages and things like this. So I think if the fans go quiet and are not, and don't seem to be putting much pressure on the situation, it makes it easier for them. They can, make the more grown-up decisions, without, with using their heads. But if there's a huge, the fans are really not happy, and we're starting to see this at Anfield because the hospitality is not selling and stuff, or this sales down, that sales down. Those are things that make changes. I think if people are peaceful, if he, manages to turn things around a little bit, then maybe that they would, go, do you know what? Let's give him a little bit more time. But I genuinely have no idea. How the fuck would I know what they're going to do? They probably don't know themselves. But do I believe they've spoken to Alonso? Yes. People that I trust in England and Spain, and you know who I'm talking about in Spain, have said that Liverpool have spoken to him. The bit that I always wonder about, though, with these things, and I do believe those claims, is who's doing the talking, because I genuinely can't imagine Richard Hughes or Michael Edwards being involved in that. So, the way things are going, just my hunches, I think there's a very good chance that Slot goes, Alonso comes in. Don't know about the Gerrard bit, but I do believe he's been spoken to. And I also believe he's been spoken to or considered, should they need to change things, in terms of interim. But as we discussed before, that would give them a huge headache, because if he came in as an interim, did well, and they've got their manager lined up for the summer, getting rid of Gerrard would be not, the fans would hate that. Be like, what have you done? Have you seen what he's just done? It puts them in a difficult situation. Some people will say to that, Gerrard could come in and make it clear, I'm just here to... Yeah, of course he could, but that doesn't change how the fans feel, right? So, anyway, I think you know my opinions on it. If you don't, please do ask me a question. So, I had an email that came in This was basically a follow-up to some claims regarding McAllister, basically, indicating that he would be interested in leaving Liverpool this summer. And the author of that email followed up by saying, basically showing some, backing up the claims. Like, oh, look, we told you this a few days ago. Now, look, I can refer you to this and you can see that that is kind of the situation. So that was more of a verifying. It's not something that I could do for a mail stand video because there'd be nothing in it. It's literally one sentence. It was literally like, look at this. We mentioned this the other day. Do you remember? Right? That kind of thing. And as ever with the mail stand, treat the mail stand with a huge pinch of salt, all right? So I think I've covered what I wanted to talk about there. Obviously, we have the FA Cup today. I love the FA Cup. I'm going out today. I want to tell you a little bit more about what I'm doing today, but I can't because it involves some secret, surprise things, over the weekend. Nothing to do with football, to be honest with you. So it's not. I like to tell you what I'm doing, but I can't tell you everything I'm doing because someone might watch my video and go, "Oh, do you know what I mean?" Local. So nothing too exciting on that front. So yeah, I'm going to go out and watch the game today. It's something I don't usually do or haven't done this season. Really, is go out and watch Liverpool play because I've been very turned off by the football. But today I'm going to because I love the FA Cup competition. It means a lot to me. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing. I'm going to go and do that. Laura, she joined me on the live stream yesterday. You guys really enjoyed her presence in the background. She will join me after work today. But I've told her, I've just dropped her at work. I said, I'm not really in the mood for an everyday because I've got this thing tomorrow I've got to go to, which will involve alcohol consumption. And believe it or not, I don't like drinking 2 days in a row, but I'll give it a good go. So, yeah, my weekend is literally football and stuff. What I can do is Laura was working on this yesterday. So, again, I can't go into too much detail at the moment, but this is a birthday present. Look, and Laura did this for me yesterday. So you can see this is CF Benidorm, our home shirt. And yesterday I got the players to sign this, and Laura basically took care of that for me and framed it. The shirt was given to me by the owner of the club, if you like, because they know the background, who it's for, and the players took the time to sign that after training yesterday. I collared them. They were all walking around in their underpants and robes, coming out of the showers and that. Laura wasn't there. She missed it. I told her, oh, you were back at work. You would have loved it if you'd have been in there with me today. So yeah, that's a nice little present. I'll tell you more about it on Monday, okay? But I think that the recipient is going to be absolutely delighted with that, and it's a very special recipient, okay? But I'll tell you more about it after the weekend. So that's on the go. Now, I just took a delivery. Now, the other day, you may recall, I ordered a Magic Mouse, okay, to go on my Apple computers. I have 2 Apple computers. Once you're stuck in the Apple ecosystem, you kind of have to buy their peripherals and things, and the Magic Mouse costs around 120 euros, I think, right? Feels very, weighty or whatever. When I opened it the other day, I ordered it from Amazon. It wasn't like eBay or something. I ordered it from Amazon from the App Store. So I opened it, and inside it looked like this. Okay, and those are weights. Yeah, can you see them? So obviously someone's stolen the mouse, put the same weights in, sealed it up so that when it's weighed back at the depot or whatever, it weighs exactly as it did when it went out. It had the seals on, it had the proper seals, they were untouched, it looked immaculate. So, I ordered another mouse, which has come, and I'm going to, and that's not a good sign straight away, it's open there. So I'm going to open this with you, and we're going to see if there's a mouse in it, because it's from Amazon, and it's from the same outlet. It's sealed. It's a white one. I've got to... I'm just not looking forward to this at all. How do I get in it? I've gone for the white one with this one because it's downstairs. I would like to have had the black one, if you like, but they cost a bit more money. You know, this is a cheaper option. So, can I get in it? I'm just going to peel the seal. 1. It feels weighty. 2. We'll do it together, right? Oh, thank fuck for that. I couldn't face going through that situation again. I would like the black one, to be honest. I've got the black one in here, but 85, I think, versus 120, maybe, something. Yeah, I just need something that does the job. At least I got a mouse this time. Okay, so, do you know, I ain't got a lot of time, really. I was going to do a live stream today, but I've been asked to help some people this morning to do with this present. You know, there's other things going on, so I need to go and help them. So I want to do my acknowledgements, to be honest with you. Yes, should we do the acknowledgements? Let's have a look. Somebody's at the door. There's somebody at the door. Sorry, there's my notification on my phone. Right, acknowledgements. So yesterday we had a live stream, which Laura was in the background doing this thing for me. Everyone actually enjoyed talking to her, really. Anyway. So the following people supported yesterday's live stream: Mark the Legend, John Conway, my big brother Niall, Ruby, Copites of Anfield, that's Gareth Turner, Paul Kay, William Cahill, Michael Colson, and Alan Metcalf. Thank you to you guys. Not a great deal of support on my live stream yesterday, to be honest, but she was in the background, so maybe people were more interested in her than me, to be honest. We will just have a look. They're called super chats, all right? We'll look and see if there's any super thanks. Super thanks is the love heart under the video. Again, not many people know how to use it, but let's see the ones that do. There'll be no surprises. Niall, obviously, my man, Schwad, channel member. Thank you, Niall. A couple of times he's on there, as is Errol. Errol's on there, also a channel member. He says, me being a smart ass, because I think we were joking about some comments he left the previous day. Mark the Legend, channel member. Schwad, see, all channel members as well. Thanks, Dunk. We will have plenty of sherbets when the bald fraud gets fired. That's harsh, isn't it? And that's it. So just the 3 people yesterday, see? They're not loving me at the moment because, you know, I guess, I don't know. I think I've done a few videos over the last few days. But, you know, this is the thing. You know, I do a lot of work for my football club, and it does take me away from Cop Talk a little bit, but which is obviously affecting me financially, but so be it. You know, I want to help the community. I want to help my friends. So I'm making personal sacrifices, and that's it, you know. So we'll either be here or we won't. Isn't that right, guys? So we will continue. I'll check Revolut. Revolut's my beer kitty, or I call it my fuck it fund. Basically, there's the super thanks and super chats. There's the channel membership. I wouldn't be here without these people, to be honest with you. And then in the video description, I've got 3 links: PayPal, Monzo, and Revolut. Now, everything really just goes into a kitty, comes in once a month, and you try and pay the bills, right? As you do in your life, whether you're self-employed or whether you work for someone. But the one link, the Revolut link in the video description, is the one that I've isolated from everything else, and that is what I call my fuck it fund, which is basically my beer kitty for a Saturday, right? And what I mean by fuck it fund is, you know, over the years, many times I've gone to the bank and thought, you know, I'm going to go and get a beer, fuck it. Yeah, but electric's due on to, fuck it, I'm having a drink. Or I'm going to the cinema, or I'm going to get the kids this, fuck it. Right, I'm sure you've done that in your life when you've took money out of the bank when you shouldn't do. So my Revolut is my fuck it fund. In other words, Money that goes into Revolut really should go towards the, paying the bills and everything. But fuck it, I need, as we all do in life, something to occupy ourselves with. You need to let your hair down. You really do. And for years, I stayed, in. And, when you work from home, I don't know, like I was leaving my house once a week, to be honest with you, a few years ago, once a week. Things have changed now. I do get out a lot more now, but I was just staying in. I just don't think it's good for your head, really, to be honest with you. So now I try to get out on a weekend. I try to take her out on a Friday night if I can, for a bite to eat or something. Nothing flash, just curry or something, Indian. And then on a Saturday, I try and meet my mate Martin. He's my best buddy out here, my Sunderland supporting pal Martin. And his missus is out, and then my chick joins us after work, and just try and do that really on a Saturday. And it's really good, and I meet a lot of people from the football that I've made friends with. So that's what my Revolut is. That's my beer kitty, really. If there's nothing in my beer kitty, then I don't go. It's that simple. I remember, when I was with my wife years ago, and, I used to complain. Because I don't know how people think it all works, but, I used to say, like, I'm putting all this work in, and I ain't even got a set amount of money each week where I can go and say I'm going to do that, because it's tighter than people think, Unless you adopt like clickbait strategies and are malicious, and lie and make videos about players that you're probably not going to sign, but you just want to trick your audience, then you'll make a lot more revenue. I don't do that. I don't sell affiliations, ball shaving products and all that shite, Just try and keep it real. But I used to say, I just want to get to the point where you've got X amount of pounds a week or euros where you can go, whether it's 50, 100, 150, whatever, and just go, that's my kitty. That's if you want to buy a game for the Xbox or go for a drink or buy something, just have that little thing. And when you work for yourself, if you do work for yourself, you'll know that your income fluctuates. You might go weeks with no work, or, if you're ill, you don't work, you can't get paid. It's all these different things. Whereas when you work for someone, you've got a rough idea maybe of what money's coming in. It doesn't mean that your job's secure. And I never had that during my marriage, where I had that like little thing that I could focus on. Don't get me wrong, over the years, Cop Talk's been phenomenal. It's a feast or a famine, really. You can either do really, really well and be like, fuck me, this is amazing, or you're like, fuck, what's the point? Maybe that is the same in other self-employed things. I don't know. I have no experience of that. But basically, the fuck it, my Revolut is the fuck it. I'm going to go do what I want, And my people's on here, they do use the Revolut link. We have a bit of a crack out of that one. All of the links, all of the facilities on this channel that support the channel. There's no doubt about that. But the Revolut one is, what? Fuck it. Fuck, I'm going to go for a beer. So let's have a look and see if there's anything in it. That's what I think. Well, I know there already is, because Niall topped me up last night. Niall is just fucking amazing. But we need to just go through. It's a little bit complicated. Sometimes I can't reply to people because I think that's when they just use the link. I think if you've got a Revolut account, I can reply to you on messaging. And that's where I do all my messaging, to be honest, with my audience, because I can't keep up with Facebook Messenger's disabled. I don't notifications, Telegram. I can't cope with it all. But Revolut's pretty cool, like I can just, not many people use it, so I can manage my conversations on there. Yesterday, Christopher DT sent something through on Revolut, which would be the equivalent of a couple of Magnas, if you like. How nice is that? Thank you, Chris. What a fucking legend. Paul K. Again, and Paul's got a lot of things going on in his life right now. And I always mention this when I'm aware of people that are going through some difficult times. And I'm not talking about having, a bit of man flu. I'm talking about some serious things. And, they still find time and to think of others. It's incredible. And that's why I will do Cop Talk until the day I die, because I just could never turn my back on so many amazing people. And it's daft, really, because it's just the website, it's the YouTube channel, but people enjoy it, and they support me, and I'll never, ever, ever, ever turn my back on those people. And if I dropped 100 million euros on the lottery, I can assure you I would continue to do this and look after the people that have looked after me, really. And Paul K here says, something for the weekend, sir. And he's put a little beer emoji. So he's got me a beer in for the weekend. I say, I love my Fuck It Fund. It's mint. And another one, Nick G. Amazing. Happy Easter, Nick says. And that's like 4 bottles of Magners. Hey, we're on a party here. I'm out 2 days, remember, though. Don't be getting tight on me today. I've got tomorrow as well, all right? And a woman to look after. Some women are like, I don't need looking after, thank you very much. That's fine, we'll pay your own fucking drinks. And Nick, thanks, legend. What a top man. And Carl, put that towards an Easter egg or a beer, up to you, mate. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. These are my peoples. These are my peoples. Not just because they got me a beer, but I mean the humour, the banter, do you know what, like Paul K there, you know, shit going on in his life, but still having a laugh with me. Get yourself a beer, don't, fuck it. Fuck it fund. Exactly, do you know what I mean? Amazing, amazing people. And it's the same thing when people leave me a comment. It's not just because someone gets you a super chat or a beer. People in the comment section, man, they make my day. Do you know what I mean? The people leave some brilliant, brilliant comments. Kevin, for example, always leaving little funny one-liners. You know, what's he? You know, just people like just putting stuff in there. Martin, it's just all these different people all have different comments and get me through my day and that, you know, my life. And I just love it. I am so lucky and so happy right now that everything's just fucking great. It's not, a lottery win would be amazing, all right? Only because it would take pressure off. That's all. I still would work as hard as I fucking do. And yeah, I guess, you know, if I could sort my weight issues out, but I've been trying to do that for about 30 years. I think now I'm in my 50s. I think I'm probably who I am. But I'll keep trying as best as I can. Some people have been with me from the beginning when I was, you know, 3 ton. Now I'm 2 ton. So, you know, maybe, yeah, I wish I could do that, but it just doesn't work. Try everything, really. And you can't say it's beer because, you know, for years I've drunk vodka and Diet Coke so that there's no carbs in it, you know. So, I don't know. I think I just have to accept who I am and that's it. I'm happy as I am in that sense, I guess. But I want to live because I love life. I love life. And I really want to continue it. So I'll just keep trying, really. But I want to thank you guys that leave nice comments and watch my vids. And I know some of you are not in a position to support me. And I know you would if you could. There are some people. There's a lot of people out there that won't support you. They won't thumbs up a video or comment. Well, fuck them, all right? My peoples, you know you are. If you comment on my videos, if you thumbs up my videos, all right, you're my peoples, as far as I'm concerned, right? Anyone else that ain't got the patience or time to do it, fuck them. I'm not interested in them at all. Don't want their poxy views or nothing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, you know, I understand, should I say, some people can't comment on every video. They might be watching on a, you know, an Xbox or a console, or they might be driving. I get that. But there's people that don't ever come in and just fucking lurk and that. Do you know what I mean? Like, nah, I'm not interested in them people. People that offer something to the community, either keeping me inspired or I'll see you guys replying to other people and encouraging them. Those are my peoples. So those of you that thumbs up my videos, those of you that comment my videos, you're my peoples, all right? These are just my peoples because they get me a beer. You know what I'm saying? They get me a drink. So it's nice. Do you know what I mean? I would do the same in reverse. And these people, over the years, when they bump into me, there is not anyone on this planet that could come on here and say he didn't offer me a beer when I saw him or anything. I always, it goes both directions, man. So my peoples, I love my peoples and I'm exceptionally proud of them. And I just wish my mum was around today to see how things have changed over years, you know. Because it has become more crowd-focused now, you know, like crowdfunders, things like that. My mum saw more of the, you know, with Cop Talk, obviously the big companies advertising things like no personal touch. She today would see how amazing and lovely people are, you know. She did see that on the VIP members website. She used to help me with that, you know, the administration side of it. Charlotte does all that now, my daughter. But And she knew there was some amazing people on there, people that have been with me since the 1990s, still on there today. But she would have seen this other angle, and she'd have been very proud of what we have built up there for you and me, you know. So, but she's not here, so not much we can do about that, fellas, is there? And I say fellas, that does include the girls. Okay, Niall, a massive shout out to Niall. He certainly fixed my beer kitty overnight. But I've got 2 days, guys, just saying. All right, I've got 2 days and taxis today. Laura said to me when she finishes work, she said, I need to go home and get changed before I come out. And I'm like, well, hang on a minute, that's 2 taxis. We'll have to get a taxi home later, that's 3 taxis. If there's nowhere for me to park, I'll have to take a taxi. That's 4 taxis. She fucking beer kitty gone. You know, so she can get bus anyway. I'll be out. Okay. I'll let you into a little secret. Yesterday I went out and I spent €14.50 from my Revolut in Robert Return, which is a bar stroke cafe in Benidorm. I'd had a meeting in the afternoon and then I went and had some lunch on my own because I was waiting for Laura, so $14.50. I just like to be transparent, all right? I think that's it. Is there anything else in here? You got to switch around the different currencies. This is euros. Let's have what there should be. Let's have a look. So we got Paul K. Richard. Let me just see if there's a username with that. No, just Richard Burford. And he says, there you go, Dunk, a beer or 2 while you watch the FA Cup. See what I mean? Do you see what I mean, my peoples? Because if you didn't get that support, for example, you would be dipping into, you know, your cash to pay your bills and shit like that, wouldn't you? And I can go out and have that freedom and go, just get myself a drink, my peoples. I don't know, maybe I make too much of a big deal about it. This is why I do the morning briefings. Richard, thank you, brother. Amazing. So Chris, that I mentioned a minute ago, there is a message here, and he hasn't been watching too much recently. Number of reasons, but the hardest thing was putting my big companion to sleep, Milo. Such a beautiful dog. Oh. And then says, oh, you and your good lady are well, and then bought me a couple of drinks, and he's, do you know what I mean? Thanks, Chris. I'm sorry to hear about your dog, man. Okay, Carl's in there. I need to message Carl as well. There's a few messages I need to reply to, guys. I will do that when I'm out today, all right? I've got to leave here very soon. Okay, so I'm going to get this video on and I'm going to pop out for the day. I hope I've acknowledged everybody that has supported me, you know, through the beer fund, through the Fuck It Fund. And the super chats and the super thanks and PayPal and Monzo. If I've missed anyone out, please let me know. And, you know, if you do watch my videos and you're here for the right reasons and you thumbs up the vids and you drop me a comment when you can, you're everything to me, you know. It's not just because you got me a beer or something. We look after each other on here, really. So, I'm in a really good place today, to be honest with you. The place looks like the bomb's gone off. It looks like someone's thrown a hand grenade in here and just closed the door. But I've got to be out in an hour because I've got to help move some things for someone. So I'll go and take care of that, guys. All right. I hope you enjoy the weekend. You know, I hope we get the result that we want today. You know, I doubt I'll put a post-match video on. I might do. I don't know. Maybe that'd be quite fun. But do feel free to comment on this video, anything to do with Liverpool. I'll see your comment. I love your comments. When I'm out, I'm checking your comments all the time. I do. I maybe not be able to reply to them all, but I certainly acknowledge. All right. And thank you for another, you know, week on CopTalk.tv. All right. All right, guys. So here comes the grift. If you enjoyed the video, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. All right. Excuse me. There's a love heart on the video. I think it's invisible to some of you, but for those of you that want to use that facility, it's there. It supports the channel. Without the support of the super thanks, super chats, channel memberships, I wouldn't be able to do this at all. 3 links in the video description, including the Fuck It Fund, the Revolut. If you want to buy me a beer today, it is in the video description. That's right, and that means you'll get a shout out. And if it comes through during the day or evening, I always show everybody when I'm out. I'll go, look at that, look, Red Dave's bought me a beer. And they're like, fucking wanker, you're a wanker. I go, I know, but my people's bought me a beer, all right? And I've got a big party to go to tomorrow. I was supposed to be going to Valencia versus Celta Vigo tomorrow. I wanted to see my boy Aspas, but I had to cancel it because I've got this party. So, I'll leave it with you. I've got a mouse. Yeah, I got a mouse. White power and all that. We didn't get a black one. Oh my God, will that offend someone? Good. I hope it fucking does. Because my token black friend Traumatic that's on the channel and my others, they think it's funny. So as long as we're happy, we don't care what you think. If you're one of them miserable people. So yeah, the black mouse didn't deliver. The white one did. Just say it. All right. They always say once you go black, you never go back. But I fucking soon went back. But there you go. Someone will get offended over the colour of a mouse. Anyway, I love you guys. Have a great weekend. I'll see you soon. Take care. And up the fucking Reds, you know what I mean? All right, guys, take it easy, man.